All right. Hey, hey, hey. I am live. Woo woo. All right. Now, not going to be a go between him and George. Not going to be a super long one today. I'm just going to go over some stuff and then roll out. So, VA got my meds. He got my meds to me late. It should have been here a bit ago. Yeah, I probably just doxed myself. Oh no. You guys might know I'm crazy. So, I would like to start with the most important and serious issue of all. Drunk 3PO pissed people off. Yep. Let's see if I can find them here. I know, you would think I would be more prepared. All right, so eventually I will figure out how to do this. Boom. Yes. All right, so this is a meme. And this is what Drunk 3PO shared, and people were shitting themselves. They were acting like it was the end of the world. How dare you make jokes about life and it being a shitty year? I believe one of the heated crybaby statements was, "You prefer murder over The Last Jedi?" Now, to be fair, yes. Yes, I believe we all do. But, yeah, people, move the fuck on. So he made a humorous apology video. Be sure to check out Drunk 3PO's channel and check out his I'm sorry. It gave me a chuckle. So for the record, what is appropriate to joke about? Joking is not about being appropriate. Joking is about fucking dealing with shit, right? Some of us just want to fucking laugh. Life sucks. The world's falling apart. Everyone's miserable. Fuck it. Let's laugh about it. So yes, Drunk 3PO, I'm impressed that you managed to piss off way more people than I did. And all I did was fucking talk about seatbelts. Plus, I'm always way drunker than you are. No, great channel though. Check it out. The next thing I want to mention is Mike Tyson. Sorry, I know, so unprofessional. Mike fucking Tyson is coming out of retirement for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. And, looking at the announcement that they've made and the reaction from the audience, people are like, oh man, Mike Tyson's going to murder him. Like, I think people forgot that Roy Jones Jr. is one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time. Now, is he going to beat Mike Tyson? I don't think so. Will it be a good fight? I really hope so. I'm excited about it. I'm going to, I think it's on, it's on some platform I've never heard about. But, yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'm excited for it. And, yes, it will probably be a better fight than watching Deontay Wilder get his ass kicked again. I don't think it's going to be half the fight that AJ in Fury is going to be. That's a fight I'm excited for. Turtles climb, man. What big fights are you excited about? Do you even like fights? I'm actually enjoying this bare knuckle fighting championship or whatever it is. I'm digging that pretty well. UFC, yeah. UFC got boring for a while. It just turned into just grappling. I know people attack me for it. I don't like BJJ. Sorry, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is just fucking boring. There. Boom. Talk shit about Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone. They're both entertaining fighters to watch. Holly Holm, entertaining. Amanda Nunes, fuck, she's a badass. I like Holly Holm better. She's more entertaining to watch. But, yeah. I'm not saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is garbage and everyone that does it is garbage. No. I'm just fucking saying that it's more entertaining. Oh, someone just asked me, what is the story with Red Bull? Well, it wasn't on my list, but let me talk about Red Bull. So, the CEO, owner, big dude in over Red Bull, this fucking guy decided we're doing a lot of sponsorship stuff for the black community. We're doing a lot of stuff for the Southern sports community. You know, they're really big into sports and music. A lot of hip hop festivals, apparently. Right? They are very much active in all areas of social society, social groups. Well, some people tried to force the company into making a statement on Black Lives Matter. Now, seeing as BLM now has a lower approval rating than it does people that disapprove. And that's not counting the people that are unconcerned and don't give a shit. Apparently, when you go around killing black people while shouting Black Lives Matter, people don't really give a shit. So yeah, it's become divisive. It's become political. And Red Bull was like, nope, we're not fucking making a comment on it. We sell energy drinks. Now, you want to fucking go and promote a hip hop festival and be like, hey, this music is good. Drink our good drink while listening to good music. Or you want to fucking go down to like NASCAR and be like, hey, they make left turns. We like left turns. While you watch them make left turns, buy our fucking drink. It's good to watch people make left turns. See, these are good, positive things, right? That you can do to all aspects of the community. Joining in on something divisive just for woke points, no. There's a reason why Red Bull's on an uptick while Monster is on a downtick, sales-wise. I don't like either one, but the Monster in the white one, the white can, looks like, it tastes like Capri Sun. That's pretty good. 0 sugar, whatever. So yes, it actually does tie into the next thing I was going to talk about. Why do I care about Diet Mountain Dew's stance on Planned Parenthood? Diet Mountain Dew, I like the drink, but I absolutely have to know where they stand on the Armenian genocide, because orange juice in carbonated water and yellow number 5 food coloring just tastes different depending on your politics, right? Do they taste left-leaning or right-leaning? I don't care, and neither should you. So A&E, they fucking up to 85% of their ratings were police-related shows at certain days of the week. So they canceled Live PD. Never saw it. Apparently, it's like Cops, but funnier. That's what I was told. Now, they canceled it because cops are bad, and it greatly offends, probably greatly offends the people that watch Live PD, right? Those people clearly were watching the show the whole time, just hate watching it. Look at these horrible fascists. No, they were probably just watching the show because they liked it. So you cancel that show, now those people aren't watching your fucking station anymore. Seeing as it was your biggest fucking show, you've now lost 49% of your ratings. Your TV station just shit the bed. Badly. Now, everyone likes to say, get woke, go broke, right? Sorry. That was just bugging me. People like to say, get woke, go broke. And I don't think that's necessarily 100% accurate. I think it's annoy us with your politics, or tell a large group of the audience to fuck off. Then you go broke. Captain Marvel wasn't that woke. It was bad, but it wasn't that woke. It was just your marketing was half the world is evil and bad. We don't need white men to watch this movie, so white men don't watch the movie, and then it's like, oh, you're all racist. Well, motherfucker, you told us not to watch it. So yes, A&E shit the bed. Fucking canceled their biggest show and all of its sister shows. Wonder if that's why the ratings went down. Maybe all those people that were watching Live PD are now tuning into, I don't know, fucking CMT, probably going to pick up a cop show. They're probably fucking getting on YouTube and watching Live PD fucking stuff. Right? Now, video game news. As you guys have seen, I will stream some video games. And I don't stream too much because I am such a skilled player of video games. They would be unfair to Dr. Disrespect and Ninja. Fuck, those are the only two I can think of, and they're not on Twitch anymore. So the world's greatest video game players would, they would suffer compared to my amazing skills while I get drunk and cried about the fucking Packers for like 20 minutes. Because, motherfucker, just screen pass. Screen pass. Yes, so Ghosts of Tsushima, if I'm saying that correctly. Everyone is fucking hyped over this game. So I watched the trailer. Fuck, that's a good trailer. So I watched some gameplay. That's pretty good. I don't know the story. From what I can gather, it appears to be Assassin's Creed type gameplay. Without the... Sorry, I'm going to piss you off here, but Assassin's Creed, the story, especially on, what was it, Black Sails or Black Flag, whatever, where it's like, oh, now I'm in an office? Okay, I'm trapped on this fucking island until I fucking do some stupid sneak around. Can I just fucking get to the open world stuff, alright? Fuck you. Assassin's Creed. But yeah, it just looks a lot like the gameplay is similar, looks like good action. I've been watching people play it, and it looks like a good game. And I know people are trying to cancel it because of cultural appropriation. It's Japanese. There is no cultural appropriation when it comes to Japan. Sorry, I know this is going to offend white teenage girls who live in the Midwest. I know. Because you guys are the expert on all things. But if you go to Japan, they're not going to be like, oh shit, he might wear a kimono. No, they're going to give you one. They want to share their culture, and they want to share your culture. It's extremely open and inviting, and it's a wonderful, amazing place with terrible fucking food. Sorry. I love you, Japan, but your food is garbage. Except for your steak. You have good steak and good beer. Surprisingly good beer. Yeah, I'm not a seafood guy, so there. But yes, Ghosts of Tsushima looks fucking good. And it seems to be very enjoyable. And I would probably play it if new games didn't cost like $80 fucking million. I think they're like between 60 and fucking $80. Not no. But yes. Hey, Splattervision. Good to see you, brother. If you want to join me, I can absolutely send you a link. I am doing good. The next news story is Nick Sandman. So Nick Sandman he went to Covington Catholic, which is a crappy little town, or crappy little Catholic school that cheats at football. How do I do the private chat? Screw it. I'll just send it right here. Well, dude he was at some event, and Nathan Phillips, a Native American dude, gets in his face while black Hebrews are being assholes to everybody involved. So the news, they edited the videos to make them look bad. Well, he sued. Seeing as they had the videos, they edited everything. Yeah, he sued, and they settled out of court because it was actual libel. So, I don't know the kid. I probably wouldn't like the kid very much. He's probably a UK fan too. UK basketball. Being from Lexington, Kentucky and all. But I'm glad he got to stick it to the journos who were lying. We need to hold journalists accountable for, being somewhat honest. You want to give opinions, give opinions. But when you're outright lying and slandering, that's bad. Let's see. Washington Redskins have announced they're going to change their name. I like this. And we are joined by the amazing Splattervision. Great channel. Good stuff.
Hey,
Eventually, I can hear you. Eventually, I'll learn I got to wear headphones when someone else is there.
Yep. How you doing?
I am good. I hadn't done a stream this week, so I figured I'd toss one out.
Yeah. I saw your video you did on the old PSA.
Yeah.
That was rough, man.
It was. I really thought it was going to be funny, like, ha ha ha, look how stupid people are. It was, holy shit, like, child prostitution and serial killers. And, man, yeah.
No, it's just 50s hysteria. It's crazy how different it's become.
And, I mean, it really is good advice, except they're labeling these people, homosexuals. And it's like, no, that's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Oh. I should have gone with... Oh, go ahead.
I didn't see the first part of this, so I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh, well, I just grabbed a handful of news stories. Nothing overly political. Drunk 3PO offended all of Twitter.
Who's that?
Drunk 3PO is just he's a YouTuber. He just does movie reviews, plays video games, just a mellow guy. But he made a I still got it up. All he did was he shared a meme, and there it is. And everybody got super upset and like came after him, like threatening the guy. It's like, man,
that's great.
Like, come on.
It's stupid. It's so stupid, but it's I mean, I don't think The Last Jedi was that bad. Everybody gives that movie so much shit, but I don't think it was that bad. I mean, it was different than what everybody anticipated. That's why they don't like it.
The worst movie I have ever seen in my life had always been Queen of the Damned. Had Aaliyah in it, Stuart Townsend. It's 2000-ish. I've always said that was the worst movie I've ever seen because they called it Queen of the Damned, but they based it on the book that comes before it. They swapped everyone's backstory, and like I have never seen them change characters more. It was just horrible. But if you've never read the books or you never watched Interview the Vampire, if you know nothing about the story, then you wouldn't know.
True. It's like Harry Potter. Some of the parts in Harry Potter they have to cut out. But
right.
If you didn't read the book, they're cutting out a lot of stuff because that would be a 3-hour movie.
Right.
So, but it's in that kind of situation. But they changed it around for the movie?
They changed everything. Like, they took a 35-year-old woman, turned her into a teenager. They took Marriott's backstory. Marius, they took his backstory and applied it to Lestat. They put Lestat's mother in the movie, but they just changed that it was his mother.
Oh, okay.
They replaced Antonio Banderas like a 10-year-old redheaded girl.
That's weird.
like they took the twins and they cut the twins out and made it into one person. They changed the ending. Like everything was just like, what? Wait, what?
And
they
was this
took
like
an 80-year-old man and this was Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, and was this like the first adaptation they made from the
it was like
movie?
if you cast Oprah Winfrey to play Harry Potter.
I would not watch that movie. But yeah, this is the first time they made the movie and they changed all that stuff around. To me, that seems like a missed opportunity. I've never read the book, but I feel like if the other version sounds more
it blinked on me.
Oh, did it like cut out, like the audio cut out or something, or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It just blinked on me. I'm not sure why. Only for a second though.
Yeah, but the other story sounds more interesting because you had all these people and now they.
And they based it on the wrong book. They based it on the book The Vampire Lestat instead of Queen of the Damned. But the Kung Fu Vampires at a Rock concert was completely just...
Sounds pretty fun.
But that's almost how I would put The Last Jedi. Because Rian Johnson completely ignored everything from the originals. And he cut all the plots, all the little hints that were dropped in J.J. Abrams' Force Awakens, all those little subtle hints. Rian Johnson cut them all. It's like,
I feel like we should have just stayed with JJ. What was the reason why he dropped out, or did they want to try with a different director, or what was that story?
He only wanted to make the one, right? He wanted to get things started, and Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire Strikes Back, he was basically going to write the trilogy. Him and JJ were going to work on the first one, then him and Ryan were going to work on the second one, and then him and, I forget the guy, he did Jurassic World. We're going to write the third one. Well, Rian Johnson was like, nope, I got this. We're fine. And then when that script came out and was approved, then the guy that was making the third movie, he quit. He said, no, you just killed everything I have planned. I have to completely redo this movie.
So basically, JJ tried to fix what he did with The Rise of Skywalker, basically.
Yeah, when there was no saving. He should have just... Luke's not really dead. Snoke's not really dead. Those were all just tricks. Mm-hmm. And everything Kylo said to Rey was a lie. Boom.
Yeah. Or it was all a dream. It was a simulation. Or something.
Like, Rian Johnson's a good director. He's a good filmmaker. But how do you make the second movie in a series while ignoring the first one and not coordinating with the third one?
Yeah. It was a big mess. But I think some of the shots in the movie, it looks nice, if you give it that.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
The acting is good. The action is good. It's a well-made movie, but that's not, like, even Mark Hamill was like, that's not Luke Skywalker, that's Jake Skywalker, because there is no way Luke would do this. And then it was like all the hints dropped about Rey's parents. They even had Rey's theme has bars from Luke's theme. Like, it was all set up for her to be a Skywalker. That's why the lightsabers coming to her and all that. Like,
and that's what everybody wanted. That's because when I watched the first movie in theaters when it first came out, and that's what everybody wanted. They wanted them to be father daughter, something. Yep. And that's not what we got. And I could see how that would really, make everybody mad.
And they could have just made it Luke's cousin. right? It could have been Lars had a kid. Lars Skywalker had a kid.
Second cousin.
Right. Yeah. Well, it would have been his. No, it would have been his first cousin.
Okay.
Unless it was the kid's. Yeah, I guess it'd be the kid's kid. So that would be his. Yeah, Lars's kid's kid. But that would have. I don't know. I just hate that.
That movie. I'm sorry.
But it is what it is.
You watching The Mandalorian, or did you watch that show any?
I like it. It's not great, but it's good. And damn it, we need good.
Yeah. People were saying that they made an animated Clone Wars one, and they said that one was really good too.
I never liked the Clone Wars, which I know is sacrilegious because everyone loves Clone Wars.
I only watched the movie. I didn't watch the TV show because they made a movie, and that was the only one I ever watched. So I couldn't tell you.
It's well made. It's well made. The fans like it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't like Anakin.
Well, it's just like a different style, like animation, because you don't see very many cartoons that look like that. And I thought the animation style was cool. It's just like you watch anime like what's one that's kind of interesting? Samurai Jack. I mean, it's anime, but the characters don't look like anime characters or like Japanese characters.
Right.
Does that make sense? So, yeah, I think it was just a cool CG animated show or movie.
Yeah, because a lot of animation really started to kind of copy each other and look the same, to the point where it was like this, you know, you just look at it and know what style or what the show's going to be about. You can tell everything just based on, oh, it's one of those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Family Guy. Well, Family Guy, that's all like in the same universe. But shows that around my childhood was like one's called Flapjack. You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, one of my kids used to watch that.
Yeah. And Chowder. Those did like it was like I feel like it was made by the same people, you know? Or it was like I don't know, it's hard to describe. But that was like some of the animated shows that were around my childhood that kind of looked like they were made by the same people.
Now, Nightmare Before Christmas. Loved it. Great. Corpse Bride. I didn't think it was that good. Maybe my expectations were just way too high. Yeah.
It's interesting enough because Tim Burton, he's American, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's an American, but a lot of his movies have to do with like England or like foreign country, and it's just to me, it's weird. I guess that's just what he was interested in. I don't know. Like Victorian England, and I'm actually doing a ranking of the Tim Burton, like movies he directed, not all the Tim Burton movies, but all the ones he directed. Which Nightmare Before Christmas is not on that one, because he only like produced it.
Right. For some reason, he didn't direct it like he was supposed to, and then scheduling contracts or something.
But his style is all over it, and that's why everybody says it's Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. Or I don't remember.
He wrote it. He produced it. But yeah.
But I put the Corpse Bride on my list of like because I wanted to put at least one of his animated, movies on there. It's not very, very high on it. I have to look again. It's it's number 6 on my list out of 10.
Man, I love Tim Burton, unless he's remaking something.
Oh, like Dumbo? Did you see that?
I did not.
Me neither.
Planet of the Apes was awful to me. when he remade Dark Shadows, it was like, no.
Yeah, that's on my list. I don't know why I just always liked that movie. I like the soundtrack in it. The soundtrack is very good.
Yeah.
All the 70s music in it. And not perfect, but I think it's just I don't know, it's just an interesting story. I've never seen the original TV series, but I'd have to look into it.
You could not be any more different from the original. The original is super serious and gloomy and dark. And yeah, he made a good movie, but just name it something else.
Yeah.
It's like watching they do this with so much. They take stuff from the 70s, then they turn it into a comedy. Like 21 Jump Street.
Oh yeah.
Was a great movie, but come on, it was nothing like the show.
Yeah. I mean, another Johnny Depp show.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, that part of that TV show is completely different from the movie. I don't feel like Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, I don't feel like they would have been the best my picks if I was going to portray the actual TV show. I don't know who I would pick though. I think if they were to remake the TV show, I think I would choose the kid Finn Wolfhard to play it. I know he'd be a little bit younger, but I think
But that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Him and Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Randy Quaid's it's he's done a couple things, but I've seen him in a couple things, and he's just really impressive. Trying to think. He was in an Ozzy Osbourne music video.
It's kind of weird.
Let's see.
Can you show me a picture of it? Please?
Yeah, let me just. I just saw him in something too.
Jack Quaid. Randy Quaid. You say Randy Quaid or Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid's kid.
Okay. I was about to say Randy Quaid. Wait, hold on. Randy Quaid. That some bitch is crazy, man. Looks like Karl Marx.
Yeah. Let's see. He is. Oh, have you seen The Boys? That's what it is.
The what? The Boys?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. No, that's the one with Carl Urban, right?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He plays the nerdy guy in that one. But yeah, there he is. I'm slowly learning how to use this. Yeah. But he's kind of baby faced, but he can still pull rugged, handsome young man. I think he's got a good career ahead of him. Apparently he was in Hunger Games, which I never got around to watching. Yeah. Have you ever used StreamYard before? Yeah. That happens. I like Jack Quaid. I like that StreamYard keeps a timer going. Sorry, just playing with stuff now. But yeah, I like that it keeps the timer going because, man, if I don't pay attention, I'll live stream for like 4 hours. Look, George is popping up right there. He's on his metal platform, which means he's going to start banging and making noise. Sometimes he'll knock and bang on that loud enough that the dog will start barking, like someone's knocking on the door. But yes, I believe the last thing I was saying was Washington Redskins changing their name. I hate the name Redskins. It's offensive. It's racist. And I don't believe that it is up for the audience to just up and decide what the team's name can be. Yeah, he's really getting loud now. No, the team should have changed it a long ass time ago. I don't like angry mobs forcing people to do stuff, but I'm glad the name is changing. Apparently, this could be breaking news. Probably not, though. The Washington Redskins have bought a domain for the DC Sentinels. Boring, but I like it. I mean, it's all right. If you go with a good color scheme, yeah, I think, and going DC instead of Washington, I'm a fan of that as well. DC Sentinels. I would have gone with oh, no problem, Splatter. I would have gone with pigskins because you can just keep calling them the skins. But it is what it is. Oh, and I mentioned in previous live streams models. You know, I was going to get into models. Actually, whenever I'm playing my tank game, I always talk about it. Boom. I finally got around to making a model.
Looks good.
It's a very easy one that took me way too long.
Is it one of the ones that snaps together?
Allegedly. But, yeah. Like, I had to use pliers and glue, and it was not the best job. But I got it. So, next one should be better.
Oh, hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. I'm sorry about that. My screen froze on my end, and
It happens.
yeah, and I had to exit out of it. And I saw you talking on the screen because I have my TV on up here. I saw you talking, and then mine was just like that, so I had to exit out and then, apologize.
Have you used StreamYard before?
Yeah, we used it the other time we did it, and then I used it with Bronco Juggalo, who's another YouTuber.
I like it. I mean, it's easy. It's simple. I like that it works on a phone. I think they should have an app for it, though.
Yeah, instead of the website.
Yeah, for phones. But it's all right. Have you had any subscribers deleted?
Yes. I had a couple before. I was watching a stream and then I got some more, but before that I had 2 of them go for some reason. Other than that, I haven't had any other ones with that.
Seems like everyone's having issues where like they're losing subs. Orange Hat Reviews had some of his removed. I lost 300 subs in one day.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Which, isn't that bad compared to what other people have had. Some people have lost 30, 40,000 in a day. Yeah. Which I'll never get that many, but I heard it's YouTube just deleting channels. But there's a lot of channels that I was subbed to, and I'm not now. So I have to resubscribe.
It's Susan. I'm certain it's Susan Wojcicki just sitting at her computer. Delete the subs. I'm telling you, man.
And plus, I keep end up subscribed to channels that I have no interest in. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. Ugh.
But no, other than those 2 subscribers, I haven't had any other problems. I get more views. I get views through other websites. Like people will see the ad. I mean, I've gotten more views lately. Either I would just maybe get like 1 or 2, and that would be it. But yeah, I know it's not a lot, but I've a little bit more than
every
usual.
view counts.
Yeah.
I was looking at my analytics, and I get a lot of views from the Philippines. And there's a couple Facebook groups that have shared some of my stuff. One of my videos, the oral sex demon, that blew up in Poland. I don't know why. Like Poland just loved that one.
I bet.
So terrible video.
So yeah, how many? What kind of countries are you popular in? Like, does it say?
I do well in Poland. I do the Philippines pretty good, but I've got a lot of friends over there. And with VPNs, that might bounce it around a lot, but
yeah,
I'm still pretty popular in the US. It's more than half my views, but it's just every now and then one country will like pop up. I don't know if everyone's using a VPN that goes to that country, but yeah, usually it's Philippines. I never do well in Russia.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, these Russian bots just aren't helping me.
Yep. Maybe do you get to see what state, or is it just like the United States in general?
It never says what state.
I would like to see like the states like break down like Arkansas, or which ones are most popular.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be kind of interesting?
That would be neat.
Like, yeah, shout out to Alaska for most subs or most views this week, or something.
Yeah, if I'm getting any views from Georgia, it's probably hate watching though.
Why do you got bad beef? You got some beef in Georgia or something?
I do. I was stationed there 3 different times. I was stuck in Georgia, and I don't like it. I did not like Georgia in the 80s, did not like Georgia in the 90s, and in 2014, I swore I would never set foot in that state ever again, and I haven't so far.
Yeah.
If I go to Disneyland, I am driving through Alabama and hitting the panhandle and going that way.
All right, you're in Nevada, I'm guessing.
Well, I'm usually in New Mexico, but I have family all over. I've got kids in Arizona and Texas, and I've got family out east. And that's I've got family in Tennessee and Indiana and Kentucky.
I got family in Pennsylvania and stuff. We actually, they don't own it anymore. They sold it, but we used to have a family member that owned a ski lodge up in Pennsylvania. Yeah, pretty cool. And they since got rid of it, but yeah, they had it up in the mountains, and my dad said he got to go there before they ended up closing it down. And yeah, he said, well, it would be nice to go skiing in Pennsylvania, but we can't do that.
See, I've got a cousin up in Colorado who goes skiing all the time.
Yeah, I got cousins on my stepmom's side that lives in Colorado. Some people in Tennessee and New York. Other than that, that's the only ones I really know of. But yeah, and of course here in Oklahoma, on my mom's side.
I like Oklahoma. Lawton, Oklahoma. Everyone hates Lawton, Oklahoma, for some reason. But they had the best steakhouse I'd ever eaten at. And I can't remember what its name is. That's my only memories of Lawton. That and Fort Sill is windy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of Lawton, Oklahoma. I live on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. about 2 hours west or 2 hours east of Wichita Falls.
Okay.
Yeah, if you know where Wichita Falls is in Texas.
Do you know Fort Sill, the big army base there in Oklahoma?
No, I don't think so.
Fort Sill is the artillery capital of the military. So it's just it's over in eastern Oklahoma. But there is a small town that consists of a few strip clubs, a few tattoo parlors, and a few apartment buildings for soldiers to live in. That's what Lawton, Oklahoma is. That's it. It's a town of like drunk soldiers.
Yeah.
But they have a good steakhouse.
Hey, I mean, what do you want a big, nice, juicy steak when you come back from overseas, don't you, right?
Right.
Or your state there? I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. I have to check it out. Is it open to like publicly, or is it just for military only?
Oh, Lawton's open for everyone. I need to find the name of that steakhouse, and it's probably closed and may not even exist anymore.
Yeah, there's a place in Amarillo called the Big Texan, where they have like 72-ounce steak or 75-ounce steak, whatever it is. Yeah, we drove past that on our way to Colorado one year, and I saw that. I was like, we gotta stop there and go eat. And I was like, we all share a 72-ounce steak. We couldn't finish it. That's
the Silver Spoon. It's called the Silver Spoon.
Silver Spoon. Is it still open, or is it open but
it
closed?
Looks as though looks like it's still open, and it's still got good reviews. Woohoo!
It's good. Next time you're in Lawton, you'll have to go there, I guess.
Oh.
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever do y'all have gambling where y'all are at, or where you're
at? Yes. I go to a reservation right outside of Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and in Texas we don't have casinos. We do have the lottery and all that stuff, like those people. But we don't have casinos like in Oklahoma. The one that closest to us is a place called Durant, Oklahoma, or Durant. Sorry, if any people from Oklahoma watch. And people go there. A big place called Choctaw, and you get people. Will go there and spend the weekend. They'll buy a hotel room, even though they live just right down the road. They'll buy a hotel room and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. It's
ridiculous. Man, I used to go to the reservations to see concerts and stand-up comedy and whatnot and this has been a long time, but I got to see Taylor Swift for $25.
Why? Because it was $25? Is that why you went saw her, or is it because you like her?
Well, she was like 15 or 16. This is a long time ago.
That's crazy.
And like I would go to the casinos up in Washington State. $25, you get to see a show. You get all you can eat. You just have to be pulling the slots, or you have to be actively, in the
gambling. Casino. Yeah, my parents. I've heard stories from my parents. They said my dad said he went and saw not a singer, but the Von Erichs was a wrestling group in the 80s.
Yes. Man.
He said he went to Lake Dallas and saw the Von Erichs wrestle, and he said that was one of the coolest experiences he had when it comes to wrestling. And they would come to a place called Denison, Texas, and they would wrestle because they had family and stuff up here and everything. And I forgot who's Kerry, I think his name is. Or
Kerry was the one that made it the biggest.
Or who was the one that's still alive? I'm trying to think of. Anyway, he lives out in Hawaii now.
Danny, David.
Okay. It could be, but I watched
a terrible curse.
I watched a Behind the Ring, or you ever watched that show on TV? Yeah, I watched it and I was like, that's so sad what happened to the family, and how bad everybody got it, especially all the brothers, and then the dad.
The one had the 1 foot, like he had his foot amputated.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Kerry was the Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
He was the only one that made it big to the WWF.
Yeah, he retired. It said, I think you can probably look it up on Google. I think they said he retired in like 2015. I don't know if he was still wrestling. He could have been commentating, but he was doing. He was still active in wrestling, I think, in 2015. I don't know.
It's weird. 2 of the brothers or 3 of the brothers committed suicide by shooting themselves in the chest. Like, that just seems oddly specific. Like, why the chest?
Your heart. I mean, your heart and lungs is like right there. I mean, you can't breathe and you can't pump blood through your body. So I mean, that's like.
Yeah, but I mean that's. I mean, you go for the brain stem, and that's instant. But otherwise, I mean, you go for the heart, and
it's scary, man. It's sad. But no, I watched the special on TV and everything. But yeah, they said they remember going to see them for real cheap in Lake Dallas and in there. And he also said he got to see Reba for really cheap, and Vince Gill. When they were still pretty small, and like for $25 a show. And she was doing these stadium shows, like we do it at the football stadium, and she would sing and stuff like that. But she doesn't do that now, obviously.
No.
But
yeah, casinos, reservations, and casinos. That's where it's at for good cheap shows.
Yeah,
especially stand-up comedy.
I was speaking of stand-up comedy. Ron White was supposed to be at the Choctaw Casino before this whole coronavirus thing happened, or sorry, COVID-19. Before it happened, and the cheapest ticket was like $90.
Damn.
And so I feel like to see Ron White, I feel like that's a little expensive.
Yeah, because he doesn't. I mean, he's funny, but he doesn't always write new jokes. He does sort of keep using the same ones.
Yeah, I mean, who do you like that does comedy?
I mean, I like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
A lot. Bobcat Goldthwait, when he does stand up, he's still pretty good.
Like, are you talking like the normal stand up, or are you talking about the whole retarded? Or sorry, when he acts stupid.
You're good. No, like when he does actual stand up.
Okay.
Like
because he did that he did that on YouTube, like just hear him do regular stand up when he's not like and he's doing all that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
he actually, when he has something to say, it's because I can watch you cough and spit, but can't anyone do that?
I know I just thought that was annoying. I didn't really find that funny, but I did see him do some comedy on I think it was This Is Not Happening. It's a series on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like Joe Rogan a little bit.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz. He's funny too.
Coco Diaz, yes.
Yeah, Joey Diaz, yeah. I thought he was on the Sopranos. Like, I thought he was actually on the Sopranos, but I guess he was just like on a skit or something.
Yeah.
But I wish he was in more movies, like more mobster movies, because I feel like he could play, a mobster type.
Yeah, he's perfect for it.
But he's in these kind of kid movies. He does these like kid movies. It's weird.
Yeah. Now, Joe Rogan is moving to Texas.
Really? Did he finally confirm? Wasn't he out in California, or where is he at?
Yeah, he's leaving LA. I mean, you can't do shows there. They're taxing you to death. I mean, California's okay to drive through or to visit, but I would never, ever live there.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My friend Dustin, he likes California. He loves the idea of California and Hollywood and all that stuff. And I always say, I'll visit California. I'll go, do all the things you do there, but I'm never going to live there because those type of people are not people I want to be around. They're just a toxic environment, and it just
LA could burn to the ground, and I would shed one single tear.
Yeah.
And then laugh a lot.
And then the tear would be for the people who have to clean up all that mess, not for the people who died in. But
yeah, and it'd be sad that so many of those people would move to other places, and I might have to deal with them again.
I always thought if I ever became, hypothetically, if I ever became an actor or somebody famous, wealthy, I feel like I would always stay here or move to Colorado. I don't think I would move out to LA. I will fly 100 times to LA and back if it meant, having a job and doing work and stuff like that. It's just like Johnny Depp. He doesn't live in California. He lives in France. So,
right. Or he lives in Florida.
He's kind of going against that.
And, Harrison Ford's in Wyoming. A lot of people live in Arizona.
I think Rodney Carrington, I think he lives out in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Actor, comedian, I wish he would do more movies.
A lot of dudes are in New Mexico, Santa Fe. I mean, you can jump on a plane and be in LA. You can be at LAX in 3 hours. So it'll take you that long to drive from Burbank.
Yeah. Well, in Texas, where I used to live in Central Texas, and it would take almost 6 hours to get from where I lived to where I live now, and that's just in the same state. So, I mean, that shows you how big the state is.
Yeah, it's 4 hours from. No, it's like 4.5, 5 hours from San Antonio to Killeen, outside of Waco. Yeah. I was living in Amarillo, between Lubbock and Amarillo for a while before I jumped over the state line into New Mexico. But
jumped the border.
Yeah, which I was staying in Texaco. Which half the town is in Texas and half the town's in New Mexico. It's like Texarkana, but on the other side.
Yeah. Trying to think. Who else lives in other states? I think there's a couple of celebrities who live out in Florida and who go from Florida to, LA when they do a movie or something like that.
And where they film so much in Georgia.
A lot of celebrities are out in Atlanta.
Yeah, all of Marvel films in Georgia. So a lot of them live that way.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell lives in Oregon.
Really? That doesn't surprise me. He always feels like a woodsy type person, like he would be a...
Yeah, and he lives in a small town, and, no one knows he's famous. That's
got to be a relief. To have fanboys knocking on your door. I love you, Bruce Campbell. That's wholesome. He could talk to people. He could be a normal person without being berated about his movies and stuff.
Now, before the TV show really, really blew up, you could go to George Martin's house, the author of Game of Thrones.
Really?
Because he has two identical houses across the street from each other. One where he works and one where he lives. So you could go to his office house, which is full of toys, believe it or not, like action figures and whatnot.
Yeah.
You could go there, knock on the door, and his wife would answer. And if he was free, then you could come in and hang out for 10, 15 minutes and just talk to him. But now I'm sure he has big fences up now because everyone's probably, when are you going to finish the book?
Yeah. Or, I don't know. Does he have a say in what goes on in the show? Or is he...
He did for the first 4 seasons. Oh. Kevin wants to know, are technocrats like Dan Crenshaw better or worse than communism?
Probably better.
I'm not sure about technocrat, but Dan Crenshaw seems to be a reasonable person. While I may not agree with all of his policies, he doesn't seem to be saying anything extreme or crazy. And I remember when the Berlin Wall came down, and I remember the East Germans. And yeah, they did not like communism at all. If you go to Miami, the Cubans that have escaped communism, not big fans. Lived all over the world, and I don't remember anyone fleeing into communist countries.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, why are people wanting to bring communism in America? That's what I don't understand. I feel that if once that happens, we're completely screwed.
Well, when you look at Venezuela, I always say that the country's name funny. Venezuela, they went from the fourth richest Western country to complete poverty and people burning money in the streets. What changed? Oh, that's right. They became socialist.
Yeah. Had some people today complain, where I work, people complain about politics and stuff, and that, you know, actually I was on Instagram, and people were saying that Trump is everything that's wrong with the country, and that's why we're going to go into World War III and all this stuff. And I believe, and people want to vote Biden or Bernie Sanders, people like them, into bring them in the office, and I feel like that's what's going to be the downfall. They're going to be another Fidel Castro or something.
People have become so hyperbolic when it comes to politics. The Cold War is mostly fake. Our alliance from World War II. No, the Cold War wasn't fake. I don't believe. I would say the Cold War was very much active, especially in Berlin. And I'd say we're entering into another Cold War with China right now.
Yeah.
We never went to war with Russia because it did not benefit anyone.
No matter what. We probably, if anybody would have launched nukes, people would have died. Like everybody would have died, no matter what. I mean, if we did it to Russia or they did it to us, everybody would have died. Nobody would have benefited. And then once they try to take over the land, can't because there's too much radiation, right?
Yes, mutually assured destruction.
Yep.
Now, I've got weird opinions when it comes to war. I think the reason we go to war is rarely the reason given, but it's also rarely the conspiracy theory that people say. I've heard a million people say, Afghanistan, that was all about oil. Nope, there's no oil in Afghanistan. They have lithium. And the lithium is in the north east, and that was annexed by China. China just moved their border over like 50 miles and took over all the lithium. Yes, the Cold War was a money-making scheme, but I mean, it was a real thing. What advances technology more than anything is always going to be pornography and violence. The world's first interactive DVD menus were adult videos.
Adult videos? You mean you have to buy certain videos?
DVDs.
Oh, okay.
Pornographic DVDs were the first interactive DVDs.
They didn't have it on the computer?
This was before that, before we had the internet.
Yeah, but no, I know what you're talking about.
When they made the switch from movie theaters to VHS, it was the adult industry that pushed the advancement of VHS. The reason why Betamax failed was because VHS got the backing of the adult industry.
Yeah.
The only other thing that will push it as much as that is war. Building better bombs is what gives us more fuel-efficient cars.
Never thought about it like that.
First girlfriend came over from Germany when the wall fell.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fascinating. It was November of '89. And I could be wrong. It could be 90. It's been a while. But But it was crazy because these people are coming over in cars that are from the 60s and 70s. And they immediately flooded the market. There was the largest ball bearing plant in Germany was FAG. And everyone would have like their name tag, but then they had fog, right? So stupid Americans, we'd be like, hey, it's Fag Rick
company. Yeah.
And they didn't get it. But these guys from East Germany, they came over and they're like, all right, well, you guys are making 10 marks an hour. We'll do it for 3. So, yeah, the West Germans hated the East Germans. Hated them. But the East Germans did have much better music.
How do you feel about German cars? Like, are you interested in like Volvo and like Mercedes and all that kind of stuff, or do you like
my brother used to pry the they would just him and his friends would pry the BMW emblems off of cars, and they would make them into like jewelry and stuff.
It's weird. Make them into necklaces.
And, yeah, like, and to send them back to the States and whatnot. Like, they were just everywhere. Americans pillaged Russia and the Ukraine, made it worse for 10 years. When the wall fell, Americans pillaged Russia. That doesn't make sense to me. Also, when the wall fell, Ukraine was still part of the USSR.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Now, I know the Crimea situation is a result of Stalin's replacement, Khrushchev. He gave Crimea back to Ukraine because he was Ukrainian. And so that was like his little gift to his homeland, was to give something that was traditionally Russian back to Ukraine. So here in the last 10 years, all this war and fighting and whatnot is because Russia wanted back that land that was given away in the 1960s. Russia's big problem after the fall of communism was the oligarchs. The Russian mob really had a lot of control over the economy, because it's always difficult to make a switch from communism to capitalism or from capitalism to communism, because the big difference between the two is where the power rests. Whereas with communism, the government controls everything in the name of the people. In capitalism, corporations control everything in the name of corporations.
Is that how it's like in Mexico? Like how the mafia and the cartel runs the government, and then they're
it goes state by state. When you go to the southern Mexico, you don't have nearly as many issues as the Northwest. Like, I would go into Nuevo Laredo all the time, and it was no different than being in Santa Fe or Boulder, Colorado. It was just completely the same. But then when you try to go into TJ or Juarez, then it's like, baked a lot of fake politicians in from America, same as fake Republicans in America. I wouldn't say they were fake politicians. Russia's only had really 2 presidents. Technically 3, but Putin's vice president was only president so that he could run again. Gorbachev was very anti-communism. He was very slow and patient to abolish the standing structures. Putin is Putin was actually stationed in Berlin for a long time. And he hated the KGB and he hated communism because he could look right there and see how good everyone had it here and then see how bad his people were suffering. But fake politicians just sounds like politicians to me.
And if you say what you're saying, like even Putin realized how bad it was, why are people wanting to bring that kind of politics here in America, where they have it a lot better?
No one over a certain age wants to, with the exception of those who are going to be at the top. Communism, authoritarianism is great for the small group of people at the top. And the ideal of communism is to eliminate competition and create fairness. By eliminating competition means you will now, the government will control everything. Yes. Oh, but the government is the people. Is it though? I mean, when has the government ever been the people? But
definition of
Fabian socialism. Well, I think when you want to get as specific as possible, that's when you start to get sidetracked. Like Fabian socialism is no different than our constitutional or the constitutional monarchies or republic democracy. It is I like to try to keep things as simple as possible, right? Now, Fabian socialism, that's like Marxism, but only in England. Shit. My history is probably a bit off here, but when you had the Night of the Long Knives, which was the Germans People Party, which later became the National Socialist Party, which we all know as Nazis. During the Night of the Long Knives, you had the English socialists. I want to say they're the Fabians. Could be wrong. I'm sure you'll correct me. Now, they had been in favor of overthrowing the Tsar in Russia. But afterwards, when they saw the violence that came from it, it really took the wind out of their sails when it came to bringing socialism to the UK, which is why it became the Labour Party. You know, not quite socialist, but socialist tendencies. So if I'm going to make an assumption here, that is, you're talking about the watered down socialism, like the Bernie Sanders socialism.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption. Now, fake Republicans. Republicans and Democrats, the small differences between the two. You used to have a Libertarian Party, but now the Libertarian Party is weird. They've abandoned libertarian principles. You have Republicans and Democrats with social issues, and then you have Republicans and Democrats on economic issues. Democrats tend to be more socialist, which is why we have not had a successful Democrat when it came to economic reform since Hoover. This is always controversial to say, but when Bill Clinton passed NAFTA, which eliminated jobs in the United States, and then he repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, which was it is what limited banks. See, the bank could not gamble your mortgage on the stock market because of the Great Depression. Well, Bill Clinton repealed that in 1997, and within 10 years, we had a housing market crash. So the Republicans were weak and allowed Bill Clinton to destroy the economy. And then Bush came along, and he really had no economic policies. He just sort of rolled everything over, and he was more interested in social issues. Then Obama came along, and he had no interest in social issues, which is why he voted against gay marriage and why he refused to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was a homophobic policy. He waited until the Army repealed it. Yeah, we haven't had a pro-gay president since Franklin Pierce. So yeah, I'm not sure. Fake Republicans, fake Democrats, they've all pretty much been shitty for since Teddy Roosevelt. The last 117 years, we've had shitty presidents. Definitely none of them are responsible for the downfall of Russia. None of them are guilty for the downfall of China either. And I think he may have left.
Smith-Munt. What does it say? That's it. Modulation Act? Modernization Act?
Oh, I missed it. I didn't. Last thing I got from him was something about fake Republicans.
Oh, okay. Well, it says on here, it says, what do you think of the Smith-Munt Modernization Act?
Modernization Act. Honestly, I'm not as familiar. I'd have to read up on that.
No, I think people are trying to paint the president as
a recent one. That's within the last. That's active 2012.
Oh, really?
Okay, it just sounds like a bunch of propaganda, whatnot. Like literally related to propaganda. Here's my stance on propaganda and free speech. If you are getting government funding, or if you are part of the government, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about it. Nope.
Like people on welfare?
No, like, all right. The BBC is paid for by taxes, but they constantly give left-wing Labor Party propaganda. That's wrong. I should not pay anyone to 2014. Okay. I should not pay anyone to give me propaganda. No. I pay you to build roads. Let's see. Authorize Secretary of State and Broadcasting Board of Governors to provide for the preparation and dissemination of information intended for foreign audiences. From what I can remember, it's what led to them trying to use the Logan Act to arrest people for wrongthink. I don't want the Secretary of State or the President dealing with propaganda, period. Disseminating information, no. That's what the CIA is for, the intelligence agency. And when it comes to foreign entities, yeah, that's the CIA, that's the U.S. military. The president should be focusing on domestic issues for the most part. When it comes to information, I think I do think it's humorous when Obama was caught spying on Germany, which may be what pushed this act into the limelight. But yeah, that's oddly specific. I've always had a very simple ideology when it comes to politics, or when it comes to government. I hate politics. I like government. The government's job is to protect me from outside factors, right?
People like China and Russia who could attack the U.S. or the Middle East.
And the police's job is to protect me from those in my community.
But that's why we have the right to bear arms, so we can protect our homes and the people inside without having to rely on the police. So
any law that is protecting me from myself or me from moral turpitude is a bad law. Murder is illegal. So if I murder someone, arrest me.
Only if you get caught.
But it's not their job to be like, well, you can't have your gun because you might use it to shoot someone. No, it's already illegal to shoot someone. So I'm going to break that law. I'll probably break the other one. I err on the side of freedom.
What do you think about the people getting arrested for shooting a burglar or somebody who breaks into their house, and then they shoot him, and then the person gets time in prison because they were trying to defend themselves? Or how does that work? And they don't die, but they get shot, and then they...
There are certain states where if you have the ability to exit your property and you're home alone, then you are supposed to exit your property as opposed to defending your property because your life isn't in danger. That should not hold up in law. But people don't challenge these things, and there's a lot of laws that are unconstitutional and lots of overreach from the government. Trump, with his ban on bump stocks, Trump is now the most anti-gun president we've had, technically, because he's introduced more anti-gun policies than Obama did. But everyone came after Obama for being anti-gun, and everyone comes after Trump for being anti-gay. But Trump is more pro-gay than Obama was, and Obama is more pro-gun than Trump was.
Smells like bullshit to me.
So it's all about the way things are being twisted. Yeah. Mike Pompeo running in Epoch Times on the news 24/7 now. I got no issue with Epoch Times being on the radio or being on the air. I don't think it's the government's business. I don't think it's anyone's business to get involved in this sort of thing. Now, I will say, if you're either a publisher or you're a platform, and the bullshit of trying to do both, you cannot silence a platform. If the KKK or Black Lives Matter, either one wants to get a permit to hold a parade in the street, the government cannot say no. They have to offer them both the same privileges, even though they're both hate groups. But I don't have to publish either one if I don't want to. But that means I don't get 230 protection.
But I know that the government can illegally let those type of groups in, but which one do you think of the lesser of the two evils? Which one it would be a lot worse?
Well, the KKK hasn't actually existed in the last 10 years. Now, they have splinter groups that came from it, but even in those communities, they're toothless. They're just idiots that people rightfully ignore. Allowing them to publicly get out there and plead their case made people laugh at them and made them shrink back to the shadows. They weren't being protected. They weren't being attacked. The government was just like, look, you want to hold your stupid parade? Hold your stupid parade. First brick thrown, we're shutting it down. Okay. It's like the stupid evil bigots out of Kansas that were protesting soldiers' funerals and celebrating the deaths of gay people. They had every right to have a parade.
They were protesting the soldiers' funerals? Like military people, they were protesting their funerals? Over what?
Because they were protesting soldiers' deaths because America allows homosexuals to live in the United States. So they would protest soldiers' funerals because it would get them news attention, which would get their message out. They were out of Kansas. It's surreal. The government makes the news, now publishes at the same time. I don't think the government necessarily, well, the American government's certainly not publishing news. The Chinese government absolutely is determining what can and cannot be said by American corporations. I mean, Google is basically bending the knee to China. The NBA will not allow you to say free Hong Kong. Yeah, if the United States government is running the news, then the news would not be 99% pro-China propaganda, anti-president. Don't think it works that way. Now, the news is completely asinine, stupid, and I have my news sources that I trust, but even those I take with a handful of salt that I try to go to other places. You got to take a step back and look at all the news. Like Tim Pool, great guy. Trust him, but he's not always right. He's quite wrong often. Stick, sticks, and hammer. He's the other end of the spectrum. But yeah, you have to trusting the news. When a bill is put forward or when a court case is decided, you can either read the court transcripts or you can listen to Don Lemon tell you what the transcript says. Don Lemon keeps lying. So I'll just read the transcript myself.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you I watched a video. I'll have to send it to you. You have Twitter, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to send you a deal on Twitter, but it's a video of Don Lemon, or not Don Lemon, Trevor Noah. He has one of his anchors go out there and talk to people about Trump supporters. And I'll have to send you a video about it because he just makes everybody out to look like an asshole. And I don't like Trevor Noah personally as a comedian or as a host because he's very biased and he wants to talk about white privilege and Black Lives Matter, which he's never.
Yeah, mixed race guy from South Africa. Yeah,
has a white mom. I'm pretty sure, correct? White mom,
right?
And or was it even worse? There's some guy that I think it was LeBron James or no, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, that's his name. He said he hates white people or something like that.
Basically, he was very anti-Semitic. Okay.
Yeah.
I do believe that the CCP should be sanctioned. We should no longer buy or sell anything to China and allow their economy to just tank. I'm not a fan of genocide. I'm not a fan of censorship. I'm not a fan of authoritarianism. And I'm certainly not a fan of Chinese government buying into American corporations and then pressuring these corporations to censor themselves in the United States. So yeah, technocrats want to overthrow the CCP to get a lock on all Asian trade. I don't completely agree or disagree with that statement. I will say anyone that supports the CCP is they're either doing it because they don't know better or they truly support genocide. But I have a straight child who is extremely mad at me over because she was asking me about politics and I answered her honestly, and she's extremely upset. Won't speak to me now. I have a daughter that is not straight, who is we talk constantly every day.
You think
It's always the straight white females that are offended for everyone else on behalf of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of them. I just got in an argument with somebody on Instagram today because they were being, they were getting offended because I posted a post on my Instagram about Marsha P. Johnson, which was a figure in the gay rights movement in the '60s, was part of the Stonewall riots, and very very popular, and and this is, I guess, no surprise to you. I support the president, and and I posted, and I like to post and all this stuff. And she's saying, how could you post a picture of her and then say Trump 2020 or something like that? And I just think it's and she's straight white girl from the South. I don't. It's just annoying. It's like people have other opinions, and it could be I can be on it, open and talk about it. If they don't want to be all talk about it to me, I don't understand.
Yeah, they want everyone to be on a plantation. Like, this is your label. This is how you're supposed to think and act and vote. Like, no, sorry, shove off. How do we get rid of technocrats out of the government? I think we should treat them just like we treat socialists. Call them out and then vote them out. The biggest problem, I think, with our voting system is we have a two-party system. Now, you're not going to get a third-party president. Just not going to happen. We've come close, but it's not going to happen until you start voting third-party congressmen. When you start throwing in libertarians and Constitutional Party or Green Party or this party, then you can start to take away the power that these uber left authoritarian bastards like Bernie Sanders, or you can likewise start pushing out the globalists that are on the right as well. Globalism is bad. Globalism was an experiment that failed. How do we know this? Because look at the world as a whole. There's a reason why Brazil voted in Tropical Trump. They voted in a Trump clone. Why? Because their crime rate was 60% higher under the previous president, who their entire government was indicted for corruption. So you got some loud talking asshole who pops in and goes, "Screw everybody. I don't care. I'm just going to say what it is that I." And people were like, "Yes." Poland, Sweden has had a huge uptick in nationalism because globalism is failing. The biggest problem with government is the bigger the population, the harder it is to govern. Because a small group of people, they all have like opinions, like minds, like goals, like desires. But Ohio and Oregon have different beliefs, different goals, and different needs. So how do you get them both to agree on the same thing? Probably not by pushing one extreme or the other. So yeah, when you look at Greece and how Greece is falling apart, government job is really limited checking the Bill of Rights. They don't even do that. Yes, I agree. I was saying this earlier. The only laws we should have are laws really covered with the first 10 amendments. I should not have cops bothering me about wearing a seatbelt. I am 40 fucking years old. If I don't wear a seatbelt, I don't wear a seatbelt. I'm paying you tax money. Can't you find something better to do than bother me about a seatbelt? Go away. And more laws, more government is never the answer. It's illegal to kill. It's illegal to murder someone. Okay, so now let's add 8 more laws to define that, because then they'll be extra illegal. No.
Oh, I mean, it depends on what state you live in. You know, if you murder somebody, you can get the death penalty or life in prison. How do you feel about the death penalty? And when it comes to murdering somebody, like, what do you feel is the highest level of the crime? You know, if you do the crime, you do the time. What do you think is the highest level it should go to?
I think the death penalty should be there for.
Yeah.
I don't like the death penalty. I'm not a fan of it. But I believe it is an option that should be there. I believe the jury and the judge should have that right. If the population, if you have 12 people on the jury and they all unanimously agree the person's guilty, we're all on board with that. Okay. So if all 12 people agree the death penalty and the prosecution pushes for the death penalty and the judge okays it and the 12 juries okay it, I think that's enough steps where even someone who's against the death penalty would, have to admit that that's the will of the people. It's not my place to. So yeah, I'm pro-choice on the death penalty. Generally, I'm pro-choice on everything, even stuff that I don't approve of or like. I very much think that mayonnaise being put on a hamburger is a crime, and people should be dragged into the streets and beaten.
That's great.
But it's not my place to do that. Just don't fucking put it on my burger, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you think the death penalty should be limited to age? Like, if a 17-year-old it's like a 16-year-old murders a parent out of cold blood, like just straight up, and kills him.
If you're not an adult, you shouldn't be subject to the death penalty.
Okay, you'd be a minor, but you'll be. Do you think life in prison is appropriate, or how do you feel about that? I'm talking cold blood. I'm not talking about it was an accident. I'm talking walked in there, blow their face.
I think if it is a minor, then
yeah, under 18. Under 18.
Right. If it's a minor, then I like what the UK has, and that's at the discretion of the Queen. So it's an indeterminate sentencing. Basically, you're going to be in prison until we deem appropriate. So it's life, but it's not technically life. I guess it'd be closest to life with possibility of parole. Can you copyright and trademark your identity, your social security number, to protect yourself from Technocrats contact tracing? Yes and no. No, you can't copyright your social security number. That's not yours. But the Fourth Amendment does give you the right to privacy, and it does get, like, you should, in your home, be able to have complete and total privacy. The Onion Router, Tor, was created by the United States Navy. Believe it or not, the deep web, U.S. Navy invented it. But in order to keep it autonomous and to keep within the rights of American citizens, it is available to everyone. When they start limiting our ability to hide, when they take away our privacy, it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. When we give government protection to social media platforms and they start banning people, that's a violation of the First Amendment. And I know this whole, but private corporation, okay, private company, gotcha. Take away their 230 protection. Boom, problem solved. Now you're a private business. Now you're going to be treated just like a newspaper or a TV station. Boom. But no, you want to be treated like a concert hall. No. If you're going to be treated like City Hall, giving out permits, can't sue City Hall because I was offended by a Black Lives Matter protest. No, sorry, you can't sue City Hall. You can't sue Twitter because you said a mean tweet. I can't sue you. You're protected. So you can't block people. Can't censor people if you have 230 status. Technocrats contact tracing. I'm not quite sure what contact tracing is. Contact testing. Gotcha. I just looked at that. Yes, that is extremely illegal violation. Contact tracing is when they're going to track your cell phone to see if you came in contact with someone who might have the Kung flu. And that's a direct violation of the Fourth Amendment. Now, it's happening in the UK right now. And the way they're trying to get around it now is, well, Facebook's allowed to sell your data. They shouldn't be able to. That's my data. You choose to log on to the website. That's not the only thing, though. You or in my cell phone is a contact. I don't have Facebook. Fuck Facebook. I deleted it all. But my cell phone number is now attached to your cell phone number and your cell phone number is attached to your Facebook. So now Facebook has my data. Wait, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how you think Dan Crenshaw is a technocrat. But yes, I'm absolutely Google and Twitter. Those are technocrats. Very left-leaning oligarchy of information control.
Well, I feel like the Twitter is very more on the left than the Google as well. Like you said, lean more to the left because they want to appease to the majority and the people they want to not offend. They want to be on the right side of things. And if you're on the right and you support the president, then you're wrong and you're a racist and all this stuff. And it's
Google
a lot
had
of
their emails leaked. There's absolute proven, definite fact that they are trying to influence the election and that they are anti-conservative. Twitter, with this latest hack, when everyone took over a bunch of blue check marks, and then they released screenshots, it showed that they have blacklists, that they are shadow banning people, and they're shadow banning specifically conservative voices.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely with Bill Gates wanting to push the vaccine, which cool. Vaccines are great. I was once a licensed immunologist back in the day. That all expired. So did my EMT. Although I'm still an LPN. Yeah. Yeah, still legally.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't like government control. I don't like government tracking us. I don't like government tracing us. I don't want the government to know what's going on in my house. No victim, no crime. No crime, not the government's business.
I feel like I don't feel like it's necessary. If you're a criminal, like if you're a what do you call it? A seasoned criminal, that sounds stupid. But if you're like, if you're a person and you buy a cell phone, right, and you're in the system, then I feel like, or you have been confused of a really, really serious crime, then I feel like the government should have a watch on you, but I don't think they should, full on take control of everything, in your life, but just have a little bit of a surveillance on you. I'm talking about hardened criminals
Like
who are released.
monitoring someone who is guilty of a crime, that's up for debate whether it's this or that, but there is no legal standpoint to monitor American citizens who have not committed a crime.
Yeah, like people like me and you, I don't have a record. You don't have a record, I'm sure, right?
Nothing violent.
Nothing that'll get you on a list or anything.
Right, like I'm
talking like serious, like robbery, or I'm not talking about speeding tickets you got in 1987 or anything like that. I'm talking like I shot somebody in the face and I stole $1 million.
I did have top secret clearance, which is it's not as impressive as it sounds. Top secret clearance just means in the military you're able to read emails that are listed as top secret.
Sup, bro? President Trump. Yeah.
I was basically running a hospital. So I had to have top secret clearance in order to be able to look at everybody's medical records. So I had a whole brigade. I had about 7,000 soldiers that I could pull up their medical records and see if they got their flu shots.
Yeah.
That's what my top secret clearance basically consisted of.
That's kind of cool. I mean, you have, if they say, well, I already got one and they didn't, can you report them to an officer, or how would that work?
You just basically you just call them in and yeah, you're getting your flu shot. And I already got it. Nope. Tell you what, bring in proof you got it, or I'm giving you your flu shot. If not, then you are in violation of your orders, and you can be court-martialed and thrown in jail.
That's extreme. That seems really extreme.
Which they wouldn't actually throw you in jail. What they would do is put you, basically, take away half your paycheck until you get your flu shot.
That seems pretty petty to do that. Not as like, for the U.S. I'm talking about the person not wanting to get a flu shot.
Right. Like, I don't think it should be mandatory for civilians to get a flu shot. But in the military, you are a tool. You are a car. You are a gun. You are a wrench, essentially. And if getting the flu prevents you from being a useful wrench, therefore, get your flu shot.
Yeah.
Cold and hard, but, I mean, it's voluntary military.
Yeah.
So Kevin said in Africa they're making standards. You have to take a COVID test to get a passport, and make passport illegal, cash illegal. China's doing that. Well, China's already done that with their social credit score. That is, again, under search and seizure. They cannot prevent you from getting a passport and leaving the United States unless you have committed a crime. Now, countries do have the ability to not allow you into the country, which is one reason why I'm against them allowing people to change their gender on their passport. Either don't have it on there or have born as. Because if you try to enter into Middle Eastern countries, your gender is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, it can mean, and for how people are dedicated to their religion, I mean, depends on who you're going through,
Right.
but depending on their religion, it could mean life or death for some people.
I mean, it determines where you can sit on a train and various, I get it. I know why people have this, these opinions on these things, but I'm talking from a practical standpoint. So Kevin, yellow fever, unless that's now racist, who knows? Dengue, how's that? We'll call it dengue fever. I am vaccinated against it. Woohoo! But Splatter's not. Now we're going to go to the Philippines to visit my friend. Well, he's not vaccinated against it, and if he gets dengue fever, he could spread it to everyone else. Do the Philippines have the ability to say, I'm sorry, you can't come in here, you could spread this disease? That's one thing which you really, but for the United States to say, I'm sorry, you can't leave the country because you didn't get your yellow fever vaccine. No. Splatter can leave the United States. You can't stop him. He's not committed a crime. You can't seize his passport. That's the Fourth Amendment. Woohoo!
No, but like if you go to for a lot of people go on band trips where I'm at, either overseas or maybe to like Mexico or something, and they have to have all their immunizations taken care of. If they have any sicknesses down there they need to fix, they need to have all those taken care of. They need to have passports. They need to have all these certifications. If you don't have it, you can't go. So I feel like it is necessary to make sure you have all the requirements so everybody's safe and you're not having to worry about if you're going to, really seriously affect somebody.
Right.
And that's what they make sure. If you, like I said, if you don't want to comply, then you can't go. So, I mean, if I know that there's a really bad sickness out there, I want to make sure I'm taken care of.
And I mean, that's the school's policy, but
yeah,
the United States can't say, no, you can't leave. Nope. Now, there are some soldiers who got permanently stuck in Korea because they got the black syphilis, which, when I say black, I don't mean like, what's up, my brother? No, I mean like, yeah. I know, because there's gonna be someone's like, why is it black syphilis? Because it makes your junk turn black. All right, it's a medical condition, right? Not a racial thing.
That's funny. Yeah, gotcha.
But
that's crazy. It makes you like it turns your skin black, or how is that? Like,
it causes your junk to basically start getting gangrene and turn black and fall off.
Oh god.
Yeah, and it gets in your bloodstream and you can't get rid of it, and it's awful.
It's finally black, but it's
yeah. But now it's an innie.
That's crazy, man. And they just like it happened to them. They got it, and that happened to them, or they were
right. It's not super common, but it does happen very rarely. Mm-hmm. And if you get it, the United States Army is like, okay, yeah, we're going to go ahead and chapter you out, medical chapter. You're now medically retired. By the way, you can't come back in the United States ever again. You're banned from entering the U.S.
After they got, that sickness?
Yeah, because they don't want it here.
Yeah. So are they stuck in overseas? Like, how are they gonna?
They become Korean.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, no one wants you anymore. It's like, yeah, no, you're not bringing that shit here.
What about family? Like, if they say they have a wife and kids over here, are they gonna move them there, or how's that gonna work?
They can. They can move there if they want, but yeah.
I don't know what I would do, man. That's crazy. I've never even heard about that. I have to look more into that.
You're stationed in Asia and had every vaccine and got horrible sick. Yeah. I feel you, Kevin. I feel you. I've given every vaccine under the sun, and people get sick. But that's better than getting the actual illness. I mean, you get the sickness a little bit so your body can break it down and your T4 cells are able to identify it. Doesn't quite work for viruses. So this whole COVID vaccine, yeah, it's not exactly a real thing. I mean, yeah, you can sort of get antibodies for it, but viruses mutate. And the best solution for viruses, I am not, Susan, I am not saying this is a solution for COVID at all in any way. But when it comes to viruses, the best treatment, generally speaking, is let everyone get it. Because what happens is it'll start mutating, and then it mutates into asymptomatic, because viruses want to survive. And if they kill their host, then the virus dies. So viruses will evolve into safe, non-killing viruses.
Sorry. There we go. Finally. Sorry, I couldn't help.
Oh yeah, that's what happened with Ebola. Sierra Leone was like, "Fuck this," locking everybody up. This whole region got it. Boom, locked up. No one's coming out of there ever. Whereas the other places were like doing basically what we did, what we're doing now. And man, Ebola went everywhere up until it eventually mutated and killed itself, because we couldn't treat it. We couldn't do anything about it. We just tried to treat the symptoms. And people were pissed that we brought people back. We had a soldier we sent to Fort Hood who was sick, but he had to fly on a plane by himself. And then he got a whole hospital floor to himself.
It's kind of weird.
And then 3 weeks, and then he was recovered. But yeah, vaccines, man. I'm a big fan of vaccines. Okay, so you got SARS in 17. I have tested positive for COVID. Apparently, I'm not sure when I got it. My mom was sick a month and a half ago. So that's probably when I got it. We probably both got it at the same time. But I never knew I was sick. So I probably spread it all over the place. I don't really go out much. And no one else at the bar got sick, so. Yeah, SARS is coronavirus. MERS is coronavirus. There are 12 different types of coronavirus that we are aware of, and they're all generally the same with slight variations. This one is no more deadly than the others, but it is more infectious. It's actually a lot less deadly than SARS, but easier to catch. So there's a trade-off there.
Yeah. How do you feel about parents not immune, vaccinating with their kids? Not giving their kids vaccines when they're born.
I think the parents are making a mistake. But if you're not putting the kid in public school, then
If you want them to be sheltered and monitored and, all this stuff, and you don't want them to have any social life and stuff like that.
Right. Like I am not a fan of the government kicking in someone's door and stabbing their kid with vaccines. Nope. The United Kingdom has a lower rate of vaccinating than the US does. And the reason why is because of government overreach. Now, there are those that would argue, but this is just my opinion, and I'm 100% right. Before there was vaccines, there was inoculation. Now, the death rate for smallpox was 30-40%.
Which is that low considered?
Everyone in the entire country is getting a disease, and it's killing almost half the people that get it. That's pretty high.
It's a lot. Okay.
But when they came up with cowpox to inoculate people, it was killing 5 to 10% of the people that were getting it. So 1 out of 20 people would die. But it's better than,
20
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
So the kings made it mandatory. Every single person had to go and get cowpox inoculation. Everybody did. And 1 in 20 people died. So,
do you know how the Koreans, how they treated for the COVID-19?
In Seoul, they did not lock down, which means everybody got it for the most part. But they treated those that were symptomatic. So the people that got it and weren't sick, who cares? You've got an asymptomatic strain. Good for you. You should spread that one around. We want that one to spread.
Yeah.
But those that are sick, yeah, you need to go on lockdown. You need to be treated, and you don't need to spread yours because you got the bad one.
Yeah. And what about North Korea? Do you know how the North Koreans treated it?
I believe they treat it with unicorns. Because they're the only country that has unicorns, according to their leader.
Really? Well, I think I know how they treated it. They what I was told is they literally killed somebody who had COVID-19. They literally firing squad. Blah, 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 kill.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
It wouldn't surprise me, man.
But yeah, since everyone knew someone that died from a treatment that was mandatory by the government, the British people were like, fuck this, hate it. They fought it. They went to court. They got the king to change his mind. And that's why the UK has a vaccination rate of the mid to upper 70s. So, yeah, like 70%, almost 80% of people get vaccinated.
Yeah.
But that's a lot lower than the United States, which is like 93%. But the minute you make it a law, you have to. A whole bunch of motherfuckers are like, no, I don't. Fuck you.
Well, I got to go back to school in August because I'm going to be a senior this year. So I go back to school in August. Yeah, I know. And they're saying that everybody's got to wear a mask at school. And some people are even saying that they're trying to do a vaccine, like they're going to make everybody get a vaccine. I'm like, and they're saying that there's a death rate to the vaccine already, or you know,
Right.
a certain, something that'll help it. There's already a death rate to it. I'm like, really? You're going to give that to like millions of kids all over the United States, or in Texas alone, at least?
Right.
Even talk about. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I know it's just insane.
With the school kids that I'm familiar with, it, family and friends of family, in 3 states, they are all giving them the option of online or physical classes.
Yeah, I chose to do the not online, the in class in person because that's how I learn better.
Right.
I'd rather be in the class and moving around, and I take other classes. I take theater, and I'd rather be in person, moving around, actually encountering an actual person, and not over a Zoom doing stuff like that.
I'm a fan of choice, right? I want people to have the freedom to choose one or the other, right? Like, yeah, I just turned the camera off for a second.
Okay. What are you doing, man?
Grab something real quick.
Okay. No, yeah, it's kind of crazy because people are saying they're going to do online school, and a lot of teachers around our area were complaining how hard it was to do the online school and everything and all the classwork. And like I said, I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up with the classwork, with the in classwork, and then online.
Right.
And our school, they don't provide computers or Chromebooks. They don't provide Chromebooks for all the classes, so parents got to go out and buy a $2,000 laptop for their kid.
What I want, and I'm fully 100% on board with this. My tax dollars going towards every fucking kid getting an Acer tablet or a smartphone that they can use to attend class.
Yeah, I used to go to another school. They used to have Chromebooks, which is owned by the school, and they monitor everything. Everything's blocked. You can't go on any bad websites or anything. It's all run by the school, and you pay a little bit of insurance, $35 down, and then you get the laptop for the year, and it works from there. They have all the assignments on Google Classroom,
right?
Or some colleges use Canvas if you're familiar with the Canvas, and they use that, and then that's how we did most of the class. But we also did in-class work, physical papers. But some of the projects we did, PowerPoints, obviously, you do online, and fill out surveys and stuff like that. That was just one of the things. But yeah, they still did in-class work, although there was the ability of doing on the computer. But our school does not have the funding to do that. So that would mean a bunch of parents are going to have to go out and buy computers and smartphones or tablets or whatever.
I got a Galaxy J3. I bought this last month for $49. And
did you get on Wish?
What's that? No, I just went and got it at the store. Got it at Target.
Oh.
But, it's a 10-year-old phone.
Oh.
Probably. It's the J3. Now this, I've got my LG, what is it? The Pen one, whatever they're called. I don't know. It's like a $200 phone, I guess. But, yeah, my tax money, buying every kid this $40 phone that they can use to Skype in with the teacher or video chat with the teacher while the teacher teaches class.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds great. I'm willing to do that. I will even buy a phone to donate to a student. I'm on board with that. Now, spending a whole bunch of money on a laptop and then spending more money to ban porn sites and all this, you know what? I don't care what the kid does with it. That's not my business. I don't care.
But it's owned by the school. It's owned by the school, and they have all that data on you. And it has put some kids, and in our school, it has put them almost in juvie.
Right.
And so that's why.
Which I disagree with.
Yes, but they are using a school device.
I just want the kids to be able to Facebook group chat.
Yeah. They do have the Zoom thing. I don't know if it would be able to do it on a school laptop, but they had Zoom meetings for classes that I had this year. And
you there still?
Me? Or who?
You're moving in slow motion.
Oh. Are we good?
Yeah. Zoom or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Skype.
Is my audio messed up?
Yeah, you're good. You're back now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know how the school would use Zoom if it would be available, but I know that we would use Zoom in classrooms. Like I have my personal computer, which the one I'm using right now. You know, I would have that. That wouldn't be a problem for me. But I'm talking about other kids who may not be able to get a laptop.
Right.
They can just pay the $35 from the school, which already has all the software and all the books and everything on it. That was a good thing. Is we also have the books, all the science books, all the history books on a website which you can go on, and then it had all the data you needed. It just was run by the school. And so I feel like if they were going to spend money on that kind of stuff, this would be the year to do it. And this would be the year to really test it out and work out the kinks next year. But I mean, $35, that's all it takes to get a little bit of insurance and then have a maintenance group that will take care of any broken laptops or stuff like that.
Right.
Because I know kids who I knew a kid who broke 3 of his Chromebooks in 1 year. 3 of them. Those are $200 a piece.
But I do think that the kid should also have the ability to get not monitored by the school, just a crappy cell phone, so I can do Facebook group video chat.
And that's up to the parents to, do that. But I feel like if they were going to have, they're talking about, where I'm at, they're talking about doing like an A-B group. A group of kids goes to school on the day where they're A, they're going to go in class, and then on B, they're going to go stay at home. I know, it's just very confusing.
I like things to be simple. I mean, hell, if nothing else, you got 3 history teachers.
Yeah.
Take all the history classes and put them all in the friggin' cafeteria, 6 feet apart. And have 2 teachers with masks on and 1 on a loudspeaker. Boom. Teaching class.
Yeah.
That sounds better than this. I'm on schedule A. I'm on schedule B.
Yeah. It's to me, it's just really confusing. And not only that, they're talking about wearing masks in school. And I could feel they could be dangerous in a way. I know for health reasons, but I feel like, I guess you can do it to really anybody. But I think they should work with, do IDs. Like, 'cause I don't know if you work at a place where you have a photo ID. I mean, they could see it's you. You just move the mask and they could see it's you. But our school doesn't have that, and I feel like that would be something they should implement more if everybody's going to be wearing their face covered like this.
Yeah. one of the schools that one of the local schools here, they have the kids wear a mask into the school, and then when they get to the classroom, they go in one at a time, take their mask off, and have a seat. Boom. So that while they're in the classroom, they're not wearing a mask, but when they're out in the hallways,
they're talking about all, like
right.
They're talking about constant, like all day. But I can feel like it could be potentially dangerous in a way because there's a lot of short motherfuckers out there. I'm telling you, and walking to school and then they end up bang bang killing a bunch of people. I don't know, just an idea. Yeah, I saw that too. Are you aware?
Yeah, Bill Gates, man, he's always been a bit of an authoritarian, but man, he's such a globalist. Like, he gives a lot of money to the United Nations. He gives a lot of money to the WHO. Yeah, Kevin definitely is concerned with authoritarianism from the technocrats.
Yeah.
Definitely some scary stuff.
Sorry, I have some cinnamon roll.
Oh, you're all good. I hate to, but I have hit my time. So I am going to end this, but man, it was absolute blast having you on. And Kevin, next time you should jump on camera. Very, very interesting conversation, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I like that we kind of bounced around, covered a million different topics. But yeah. I also like that no one was calling each other horrible names. Like, well, I believe on the political compass, you're here and I'm here. Therefore, I got to call names. Yeah.
I didn't say you were wrong I didn't say he was wrong about Dan Crenshaw. Like, oh, Dan Crenshaw's a patriot and a veteran and you're a damn communist. No, I didn't say that.
Right.
But I feel like Bernie Sanders is a communist.
Well, he actually is, but I mean.
He is. And, I'll say that, but.
I really want to look into the Dan Crenshaw being a technocrat. I really want to look into that because I'm not familiar with anything along those lines. So I'm definitely going to look into that. My interest is piqued because what I know of Dan Crenshaw, I like the guy. I like what he has to say. I'm not familiar with. Oh, well, thank you, Kevin. I really do appreciate that. I'm not as familiar with anything about him that could be technocrat or not.
And I'm glad you know more about this stuff than I do. I mean, you've been around all the government. Like, you really do I feel like you do a lot of research. And you just have this knowledge, about this kind of stuff. So,
well, I went to school for it. I could never be a politician because I'm honest, way too honest. And I like people, even when I disagree with them.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to paint someone as the devil than it is to go, we're going to sit down and discuss this and come up with something we can both agree to. But yeah, Kevin, absolutely. Looking forward to chatting with you again. Splatter, as always, it's fun.
Thank you.
And I've got to bounce and get some crap done today.
All right. Well, you take care, okay?
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Bye, guys.